$504 minimum monthly payment on a $30,000 debt with a $40,000 income on a depreciating asset. You bought a car that is way too expensive for your situation.
Okay.
Way too expensive.
The car, I will seriously think about. It's probably not going to happen. But yeah, we will see about the car.
Why is it not going to happen?
Because I really like it. It's like I said, it's kind of my one vice of like...
Americans and their fucking cars. So stupid. It doesn't matter. Your future's much more important than your car's future.
I have never had like a car to myself, and I have a big girl job now.
You'll have many cars for yourself for the remainder decades when you're wealthy. Who gives a crap right now? You make $10,000 more than essentially, well, it'd be considered like a poverty wage in Austin.
My name is Keely Wright. I'm 25, and I'm from Austin.
Very cool. What do you do here for a living?
So I am a lab technician at a veterinary laboratory.
Okay. How much do you make?
Roughly like $40,000 a year. $23.50 an hour.
$40,000 a year. How do you feel living in Austin on that?
I'm comfortable. I would like to be more comfortable though.
What's your monthly rent?
I believe it's like $840-ish.
How's it so cheap?
I have a roommate.
Even still.
I always tell people I'm super South Austin, so it's basically Buda.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is real South Austin. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Well, let us jump into your checking account, see where this money goes and everything like that. Beginning balance, $167, $6,000 put in, $5,940 taken out, ending balance of $287 at the time of this statement. So really nothing too crazy in here. There's some like reoccurring payments, like subscriptions and stuff. There is kind of a slightly more expensive eye care appointment you did, but you know, you got to take care of yourself. That's very reasonable as far as things going. A loan payment of $500. Now that one hurts. $500 loan payment. And we'll get into that. And then we had some Mod Pizza, Hollywood feed for $60. Pretty expensive there.
Great Dane.
What?
Great Dane.
Oh, yeah. And then lots of small transfers to like Acorns. Stuff like that. $24 again at Mod's Pizza seems to be a fan favorite for you.
Well, that one might have also been I like get for my coworkers sometimes, and they Venmo me.
Okay, and then you also mentioned before this that there were some medical issues with the dog. $1,100 taken from your savings and brought in. Was that what that was for?
I don't think so. That was a little bit after.
So why was $1,100 taken from your savings?
That might have just been that I didn't calculate correctly in my little spreadsheet, and I needed to cover the rest of that paycheck.
That's a big cover, $1,000.
I honestly can't remember what that is. I would not have spent $1,000 on anything.
Well, it wasn't $1,000 purchase. It was an $1,000 coverage for your ongoing purchases. Like, there were some CPA Texas taxes. So you paid a tax specialist?
It's my business tax for my tax excise.
$108 and then $53. Gotcha. Yeah. Okay, that makes sense. And then some more fun spending like Feasts of Clay, I assume for the business side of things. And then another Feasts of Clay, yep. $125 and then HBO Max of $16. Then just withdrawals back and forth. So that's kind of what this checking account is.
So the $1,000 I'm remembering. So what I do with my savings is so per paycheck, I try to pay things like half. So I'll do like half of my rent and then half of my car payment. And then the next paycheck, I'll take that back out. So
oh
it's
no, that debt was a car payment?
not the full 1,000, no.
No, but the 500 debt payment we saw
Yeah.
taken out was...
But it's electric, so I don't have a gas bill.
I wanted to wait to get there, but what's this car?
2020 Leaf.
I don't know that car.
Yeah. It's like one of the cheapest, if not the cheapest electric.
Who's it made by?
Nissan.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you have side hustles, you have your business. How much does this bring in on average, if you had to guess, on a monthly basis?
So I'm doing a lot better now because I just started a farmer's market, and I think about average it's like $800 a month. So not a ton, but a little bit more than what I put into it. But I'm not necessarily.
Well, what about profits then? Because
I was thinking about that on the way here. So I spend $125 a month for just the studio fee, and then about $100 a month for clay. So that's what, $225, and then I spend $200 for the market prices. So that's $425. So $375 profit.
Okay, so then you have taxes on that.
Mm-hmm. And I also donate like 10%.
To what?
It depends. The two main ones I've done are abortion rights, and then the other one was Pakistan flood relief.
Pakistan flood relief.
Mm-hmm.
So you probably, after taxes and fees and everything and whatever, $2,966 a month brought in, probably, you think? About $3,000
with my
after
income?
taxes and all your incomes combined.
Sure, I'll trust your math.
Well, that's my best guess. I mean, if anyone would know if I'm correct or incorrect, it would be you.
I mean, yeah, it sounds about right.
Okay, so about $3,000, maybe just slightly under, but about $3,000.
Oh no, actually, so sorry. I make about $1,500 to $1,600 after tax for my job. Per paycheck, so that it's about $3,000 a month just for the job. So like maybe $3,500 total.
Okay, so see,
yeah,
good. That helps. That is
makes up for the car, huh?
We didn't say that, but it helps with math.
Mm-hmm.
So currently your rent is 24% of take home, so I'm okay with that.
Mm-hmm.
Sucks that it's taking 25% of your money, but it always does. But that's a fine number.
What can you do?
You get lower rent or own a home without a mortgage, but
my rent's pretty
your rent is low.
My apartment is nice too. I have
Really?
a garage. I have a big patio. It's like 1,200 square
It's like
foot.
a townhome.
No, it's just an apartment.
Okay,
Yeah, it's a weird setup though.
interesting.
Mm-hmm.
What I don't like is that
Car payment. I know.
your car payment is
Everyone has their vice.
14%. That's your vice. 14%. So that sucks. See, but you do have savings. So USAA savings, beginning balance 838 with. Okay, you had that withdrawal that we already saw of 1,100, but you did put 1,897 in.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe you just put in too much versus what you needed to sustain life.
Mm-hmm.
So ending balance of 1,635. So
And I have that
on the way up.
I have that up now to 2,700.
Woo, 2,700. Great. So over $1,000 more. That is awesome. That's very good. What's your goal for this?
$300,000.
No, what is this to you though? What is the USA savings account?
Just savings, a little cushion.
Do you know emergency funds?
I'm sorry.
Do you know emergency funds?
So no, not really. Like I have my Acorns, which is like a couple $100.
That's not an emergency fund.
Yeah.
Emergency fund is some people say 3 to 6, I say 6 months of what it takes for you to live, saved up in case a medical issue happens, in case a car issue happens, in case you lose your job.
But are you saying that should be like a separate account to my savings, or that should be?
I
in my
think
savings?
that should be what the savings account's goal is.
Okay.
Whatever it takes for you to live for 6 months is what you should put in there, and then start taking that money, investing it in different places. We will talk about that more.
Okay.
But that's why I asked if you had a goal. Then you said 300,000. I was like, she doesn't know what a savings account is. So I think that's a good goal to set for that, is whatever it takes for you to live on a monthly basis.
Well, the 300,000 is possible vet school. Yeah.
We'll talk about that. I think $10,000. Get that to $10,000, and that's what you need to survive. Then you never touch that. Emergency funds must never be touched.
Okay.
Never, unless an emergency happens, like losing a job, a car blows up, living situation gets completely screwed up, or medical things. Those are emergencies. You do not touch it for a want, for something you want. You do not touch it for investments. It is left alone. And if you do have to touch it for an emergency fund, then your job is replenishing that to $10,000 again before you can have fun. So you have a sweet little spreadsheet of like all your bills and expenses. And this will help us get to that emergency fund. Ooh, emergency fund might be a little more unless you cut back on some of this stuff. So essentially rent, $862, again, incredible rent. Utilities, $20, that's essentially nothing. COA, what's that?
City of Austin. It's also utilities. So the 20 is like utilities through my apartment complex, like my water and sewage and stuff. Gas and electricity are additional.
Well, then so that's $50, and then ample storage, $10. Apartment gas, which is more utilities, $45. Internet, $35. Apple Care, $14. Car, $505. HBO, $17. Renters insurance, $22. Ceramic studio, $125. Car insurance, $0.
I paid the 6 months with my income tax, so that's like for the next 6 months.
Yeah. Most people. Okay, I see how you did that. It's fine. I mean, I definitely like paying that up front because you get a better deal. But usually when people calculate what it takes for them to live off of 6 months, they then divide that by 6 months, and then they put that into their thing. But this is your monthly spending budget, so I understand why you did it like this. Is this your dog's food, $85?
Yes, Risa.
Risa.
Yep.
Groceries, $500 for a single person.
It's closer to 400. Well, honestly, it's closer to probably like 3 something, but I round up just to give myself cushion.
Okay.
Yeah.
Clay, $200. Your pet insurance for $64. Total $2,554. That is a lot, $3,500, but it leaves you with $1,000, which is great. So for living expenses, ample storage could be cut.
I'm a photo hoarder. I don't need to be.
But in an emergency, Apple storage could be cut. We wouldn't want to cut Ceramic Studio because that actually generates a profit. Can't cut the dog food. That's the only thing that can be cut. And it's because your debt is so bad. Your debt payment's really bad. So all of a sudden, your emergency fund's a little different than I thought. You should get that to $12,000. So it's not that much different because I rounded up to $10,000 before. You should get your emergency fund at $12,000.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, we'll talk about that more in just a little bit. But you have Acorns as well for some investments. Now, what kind is this? Just the typical Acorns, or is this like a later? Or?
I have 2. I have the, what is it? I think it's Invest and the later.
So this must be in the Invest that I'm looking at right here.
Yeah. And
that's because you pretty much took it all out. It was at 677. You drained it to 35. Where'd that go?
So it was when the market was crashing and I got cold feet and I know I shouldn't have, and I put it into my savings. I know. That's not the point of investing.
But it's in your savings. Okay.
Yeah, I didn't like spend it on dumb stuff.
Good. Well, at least it's there. And how much is in your later?
I can't remember. I could look at my phone and tell you though. Oh, it's 307. So I have 144.33 in Invest and then 162.72 in later. Yeah.
Okay. And then you have the card debt. Oh my goodness, no. $30,000. You make $40,000 a year and you have $30,000 in debt.
So I reason that with myself because I don't have a gas bill.
That's not going to make up for this. Plus you pay electricity. It's not covered in the apartment, it looked like.
It is.
Oh,
So
it is?
it's actually really nice. They like label it based on, I guess, the like signature of the electricity. So it has like an item line called EV charging, and it's $9 to $10 a month.
That's great.
Yeah.
4.18% interest rate, also great. Not great. $504 minimum monthly payment on a $30,000 debt with a $40,000 income on a depreciating asset. You bought a car that is way too expensive for your situation.
Okay.
Way too expensive. You should have bought a car that was no more than the total expenditures of getting that car. $20,000 was your max.
Okay.
What was the total price of this car when you purchased it?
$30,000.
Well, it just got to $30,000. So
well, then it might have been.
When did you get
I think
this?
it was 32. I got it in April. It was
Okay, 32,
yeah,
and then there were
recent.
fees and stuff.
Yeah.
How much did you put down?
Nothing.
Then you really should not have gotten this car.
My car. Well, so I had my mom's car, and that I hit a barrel on the highway and I totaled it. So I didn't have anything to trade in. I was literally.
I don't know why that means
working
you had to
on
get a
trading
$30,000 car. That doesn't all of a sudden equal, okay, let's go get a car that's way more than I can afford.
Yeah.
But you probably didn't know, right?
Didn't know what.
How's your financial education? Personal finances?
Not great.
Exactly.
At all.
Exactly. And that's what you're here for. So
Yeah,
this is
trying to
good. So
teach
I
myself.
won't beat you up on it too much, but not great.
Yeah.
Do you have any other debts? Student loans?
No, I was very privileged, and my aunt paid for my undergrad.
Awesome.
I would like to pay her back in the not super near future, but after I finish my education. I would
And
like
after
to
this
start
is
paying her
gone?
back. Well, yeah.
Any credit card debt?
No.
Any other debts at all? Just this.
Yeah, just that.
Now you want to go to vet school.
Mm-hmm.
Say the price.
$300,000. Yep.
To a private school?
I don't know the differentiation in vet schools if there are private and public ones.
Well, one of my friends, she's going to vet school right now. And though it's in the six figures that she's borrowing, it wasn't $300,000.
So, okay, my GPA in undergrad was not great, which is why I'm not in vet school right now.
Are you accepted into any?
No, I haven't applied. I'm not even going to look at applying for probably another year.
It's incredibly competitive to get in.
Yes. So that is why I'm kind of like, my options are very slim. So the one I'm looking at is kind of known for overlooking GPA, which is kind of like.
I wonder if that's why it's almost
supply and
$500,000 in debt.
demand.
With the return on that investment, you would have to borrow it all, right?
Yeah, I looked at the median income literally just this morning, just because I felt like it might come up. And a median income for a vet is $100,000.
Yep.
Yeah.
When you can make $100,000 working in sales right now, if
Yeah.
you wanted to, you could go get that job walking out this door in Austin.
Yeah.
It's not worth it. It's not worth.
Being a vet.
No. It's not worth taking out $300,000 in what will likely be very high interest rate debts.
Yeah.
It's not. It's as simple as that. It's not worth it.
Yeah, I don't really know what to tell you though, because I've wanted to be a vet since I was like a baby.
Figure out other way. Go to a school that's cheaper.
Yeah, I could.
$300,000 isn't worth it. I'm still not going to give a thumbs up on taking out $150,000 in bad debt because it'll be high interest, likely some private, but do not do $300,000.
Mm-hmm.
That'll just be stupid.
Okay. So what I would have to do is retake probably at least a semester, maybe 2 semesters of some of my undergrad classes in order to get my GPA up to get accepted into a cheaper school.
That's interesting. I'm trying to think. If you're actually able to do that and it makes the difference, then obviously that whatever money you have to put into that in order to get that will certainly be worth more than $150,000 that you'd be saving.
Yeah.
So it might be worth it if that's something you're willing to consider, but then you still have to take out $150,000 in debt.
Do you know the name of the school that your friend is going to?
Arizona.
I haven't heard anything about it. It's probably just like middle of the pack. Not that that's a bad thing at all. It's just, it hasn't come on my radar.
Don't go to the best school. It literally doesn't matter.
Yeah, I know.
Go to the worst school. I don't care.
So the school that I'm looking at is Ross, and that kind of has like a reputation on both sides of like, some people say it's a really good school. It's on an island, but it's on kind of like a sketchy island, so people don't leave campus a lot, and so they like hunker down and study.
Dude, go to the cheapest vet school you can get accepted into. It will not matter for your income afterwards. I promise.
Gotcha.
Pretty much every study shows that it depends the degree that you get, not the institution that you went to, in terms
I'm not
of
like
making money.
an elitist when it comes to what vet school you go to at all.
No, I know, but I'm just saying, this $300,000 isn't worth it. And if you do take the $150,000 in student loan debt, if you do, when you graduate after a few years, pretty much live like you make $20,000 a year, and everything goes to paying that down as quick as possible, because it's likely going to be pretty high interest rate, crappy debt.
Yeah.
That is the only option that I can think of. The other option, and it's a hard one because $150,000 is a lot of freaking money. It's try to get your income up now and save as much as you can to pay as much upfront as you can. But that's also really hard because $150,000 is a lot of money.
Yeah.
And I know you'd rather go now. But the thing is, you also have this $30,000 car, and now you're going to have a $30,000 debt making no money in vet school. So I don't think that's even an option until this is gone.
I would for sure sell it if I were to go to vet school. I would try my best to get rid of that.
What? How many months are left on this? What's the term that you took?
The longest one, like a dummy. I know.
Right. Well, here's the reality. Were I in your shoes, sell this car. Sell this car. And it's because it makes the debt itself on the car is 75% of your income. That's horrendous. And it's at the longest term possible. What is that, 72 months?
It might be 60. It's 60 or 72. I think you're right that that's the longest one, but now I'm looking back on it and I can't remember if it's 60 or 72.
Sell it. Though it feels like you can afford it right now, it's only because they elongated so much. You're going to be paying this crap off forever. Sell it. It's as simple as that. Sell it. And you live far away from work?
No, I live like less than 10 miles.
Less than 10 miles? That's considered close? All right. Crap, I'm trying to think, because you have to get to work.
Oh, you mean like biking or something? No, I don't live close enough to do that stuff.
Yeah, I was essentially trying to determine your dependence on a car, which is very dependent on a car.
High.
Because we have no public transportation. Okay. Maybe you save $10,000 as quick as you can, cut back on anything that is fun, and then you take that, get a $10,000 car, which will be hard to find, but you take it, you look at the $10,000 options you have, take them to mechanics, make sure the mechanic gives the thumbs up, says that this is a car that'll last you.
Yeah.
It'll be a less fun car, and yes, it'll take gas. And then you sell this car, and you pay this debt off immediately with the proceeds of the car. You can't afford this car. And then if you're even coming close to considering taking out $150,000, which is the max that will be even close to acceptable for that's not even acceptable. I'm just trying to cater to your situation. $300,000, don't even think about it. $150,000, don't even think about going into that unless you have no car debt. If you have this $30,000 is already ridiculous for your financial situation. It'll be beyond ridiculous if you have zero income.
Yeah.
Well, actually, truly what I would do, and I know you're not going to do this, but what I would do, I would save up $10,000 as quick as I can, get a decent $10,000 car that has a thumbs up from your mechanic, sell this car as quick as I can. Then you're definitely people personable. I can tell. Here, at least.
I try.
Try to do sales, get your business up, anything you can to increase your income. And then save up as much money as humanly possible. How old are you, 24?
25.
25. Save up as much money as humanly possible before you're like 28 or something. And then 28, go to grad school. As much money as you're able to save up, put it towards school. I know it sucks to wait. But by the time you graduate at 31, then you have so many decades left of your life that it doesn't matter that the few years you sacrifice for a better future. Because, trust me, it's going to suck a lot more when you graduate with hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt that only continue to balloon because your minimum monthly payment, because a lot of them are probably going to be private, and your minimum monthly payments are going to far outweigh what it's not going to put a dent in it. That's what I would do, but what are you going to do?
I have already kind of been wavering about whether or not I should wait, because like I'm already gonna wait for sure, like a year before I even apply. So I could extend that a few years. The car, I will seriously think about. It's probably not gonna happen, but yeah, we will see about the car.
Why is it not going to happen?
Because I really like it. It's like I said, it's kind of my one vice of like...
Americans and their cars. So stupid. It doesn't matter. Your future is much more important than your car's future. I have
never had like a car to myself, and I have a big girl job now.
You'll have many cars for yourself for the remainder decades when you're wealthy. Who gives a crap right now? You make $10,000 more than essentially... Well, it'd be considered like a poverty wage in Austin. You don't need this. Well, in fact, you literally cannot afford it because the debt ratio is insane for your income.
Yeah.
75% of your income.
I will look into it, I promise.
No, you won't.
I will. I'll go home and I'll look into it immediately. And then I'll forget because I have ADHD.
Let Keely know what you think about her financial situation in the comments below, and feel free to check out the description where you can see her Instagram and her business as well. Shout out to my 4 Cups of Coffee supporters: Abdil Martinez, Mark, Josh Bennett, Clayton006, Tyler Chong, Drew Smith, Timothy Williams, Sam I Am, Jason Spriggs, Nicholas Dolly, Tom L, J Freedom, and Hans. 8 Cups of Coffee supporters making the dream come true: Joseph Strickland, Anthony, an anonymous supporter, and Sam V03. Subscribe and stick around for more. Thanks.